Today, we are pleased to have Mr. Myint with us, who will give a lecture on Green Horizons, strengthening energy security and boosting competitiveness. Let me now briefly introduce our speaker. Mr. Myint is a senior energy specialist at the World Bank and currently works with the World Bank Korea Energy Team. He leads and supports various energy projects and regional energy transition initiatives across the East Asia and Pacific region. With around 25 years of professional experience in energy project development, his expertise includes renewable energy, energy policy, regulatory reform, and sustainable infrastructure investment. He is a World Bank scholar with a Master of Public Administration in International Energy Management and Policy from Columbia University, an MBA from Yangon Institute of Economics, and a Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics from Yangon Institute of Technology. Everyone, please warmly welcome Mr. Myint.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. First of all, thank you very much for KDI School to inviting the World Bank and me to this very interesting discussion to meet with a lot of professionals all over the world. So it's my pleasure to meet each and everyone. And today my presentation will be focused on the how to strengthen energy security and boosting competitiveness by utilizing the green energy. So I understand that the KDI would like to focus on the energy security, and I believe that our recent report, Green Horizon, is a way to resolve the energy security in the longer term. Okay, I'm with the World Bank Korea office. Our Korea office is the part of the World Bank East Asia and Pacific region. Therefore, most of the study focused on the EAP region. I understand that some of the participants are coming from the different part of the world, and it may not cover other regions like Africa or Europe or the Middle East. But I believe that the same can be applied to the other region as well. So this presentation is based on our recent report called Green Horizon, East Asia Sustainable Energy Futures. So this report includes the two main reports and then the summary report of the Green Horizon. So you can access all these reports online, and I will share the link with all the participants after my presentation. These are available online right now. So why greening the East Asia Pacific region is very important, and how it could achieve the energy security in the EAP region. So let me firstly touch on the current situation in Asia and Pacific. So as you can see, the graph, the left graph in the graph in the left, the coal consumption in the EAP region increased from year 2000 to 2023. So ending our study period. So you can see the red line. That is the total coal consumption in terms of to the coal consumption in East Asia and Pacific. So you can see this red line is increasing every year. And if compared to the other region, so it's quite significant increase. So the other line, the yellow line, blue line, and the green line, these are from other region like Africa, Europe, Central Asia, Middle East, and other part of the world. But EAB region, the coal consumption signifies a lot. So in this fiscal year, from 2021 to 2023, the coal consumption in China increased threefold. and in Indonesia 6 times, and in Vietnam about tenfold. So combined EAP region coal consumption increased very significantly from 2000 to 2023. So if you see the graph in the right, as the coal consumption increased in the region, the greenhouse gas emission by the region also increased significantly. So similar to the left, the red line is the greenhouse gas emission in East Asia and Pacific, and the other color are from other region. So you can clearly see that the greenhouse gas emission also increased very significantly. So majority of the greenhouse gas emission are coming from the power and the industrial sector. If you see the pie chart in the left, 38% of the carbon dioxide equivalent emission in the region and 16% of the greenhouse gas emission in the region are coming from the power industry and the industrial sector. So therefore, both combined power and industrial sector are the major chunk of the greenhouse gas emission in EAP region. So if we look into the specific country to the right, so these 4 countries are the major coal consumption country in EAP region. So China, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Philippines. So you can see the chart on the top of the right side. All these countries use the coal as their major primary energy mix, followed by the oil and natural gas. Their renewable energy is increasing, but stay in the smaller part of their energy mix. And in terms of power generation, that is a graph in below. The power generation rely more on coal if compared to the others. So therefore, these 4, we did the analysis, DD analysis of these 4 countries, China, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Philippines. So I took this slide from the recent World Energy Outlook 2025, published by the IEA, the National Energy Agency. Not only until today, until 2023, that's our study, but this report predict that the focus that the coal consumption in the region will increase more until the 2035 because of the energy demand is increasing rapidly in the EAP region. But mostly the demand will goes to coal, followed by the natural gas and oil. Because primary demand is coming from the electricity sector, because electricity demand in EAP region increased by 65%. And this keep on increasing from 1,300 terawatt-hour per day in today to 2,100 terawatt-hour in 2035 and 3,300 terawatt-hour in 2050. So electricity demand is expected to increase more and more. Therefore, it is really important to decarbonize the electricity sector and especially in the coal sector. But amid the greenhouse gas emission keep on increasing and expected to increase, the good news is the regional country are committed to scale up renewable energy and to reduce industrial emission. So you can see the graph in the right is that Singapore, Fiji, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, and Malaysia committed to have their net zero commitment by 2030, whereas the China and Indonesia made the commitment for 2060. But Thailand is a little bit outlier. They announced that they will reach the net zero by 2065. But we cannot see Philippines in this chart because Philippines do not officially commit NDC, National Determined Contribution. But however, the Philippines announced their moratorium on endorsement of green-free coal-fired power plant from now on. So means that they are no longer build the new coal-fired power plant. So there's a same commitment for renewable among these countries. So another good news is the EAP region also has the ample renewable energy resources. So estimated 65,000 gigawatt of clean energy capacity are available in the region, primarily came from the solar energy potential of 50,000 gigawatts. On top of that, the region also have the renewable energy, renewable hydropower, geothermal, as well as wind resources in the region as well. So two good news is the country in the region make commitment and also that they have the potential of renewable energy. So these are the good news. But in order to promote the renewable energy, that require a lot of coordination among the sector. Because as I explained, the decarbonization should be both electricity sector as well as the industrial sector. And then when we address this greenhouse gas emission, so these two sectors need to address in parallel because these are intertwined each other. So as you see in the figure, the power sector decarbonization with renewable energy is to reduce the greenhouse gas emission in the power sector. But the industrial sector decarbonization include the electrification. So electrification meaning that the utilizing of electricity as a source of energy for the industrial sector, because it is really hard to abate sector. Therefore, the energy efficiency is also very important. Green energy and CCUS. CCUS stand for the carbon capture, utilization, and storage. But when the industrial sector use more electricity, and if electricity is came from not renewable energy, then it will have the backfire for the decarbonization of the industrial sector. Therefore, the green electricity is a prerequisite to decarbonize the industrial sector. And also the industrial electrification, we also enhance the electricity demand. And therefore, these two sectors need to address in parallel. And reaching target really require integrated planning and coordination across various national and regional agencies. So in order to achieve the objective, a lot of employment in renewable energy is needed in the region. So you can see in the graph, where are we now in 2020, what is the expected in 2040. So all these countries, major coal consumption countries, need to increase a lot of RE, renewable energy, in their energy mix in next 10 to 20 years. But this scaling up renewable energy really require effective policy and as well as the transmission network in the region and coordinated planning. Because in we also recommend to have the transmission network, regional transmission network, in order to promote the renewable energy as well as the distributed renewable energy. So the transmission network is really important in the region. So for the time being, there is no such a regional energy electricity transmission network. So the transmission network are mostly the bilateral based in the region. So therefore, it is really important for countries in the region to coordinate to develop this transmission network in the region. And that also require coordinated planning in those countries, as well as their policy and the incentive and so on and so forth in all these countries in the region. Scaling up renewable energy in EAP region require over $10 trillion investment to reduce the industrial emission. So that 10 trillion came from 1.7 trillion from industry and 9 trillion from the power generation transmission in next 20 years. So in order to have the efficient electrification, the early action is really needed to reduce about 20% of the cost. And these are the huge money. Therefore, the public sector financing may not enough to cover all the investment costs. Therefore, it is really important to mobilize the private sector financing in the sector, in both industry and the electricity sector. That require conductive policy, de-risking instrument to attract the private sector financing in that sector. Of course, the multilateral development bank like World Bank, ADB can play a catalytic role to scale up the renewable energy in EAP region. So what we are doing, World Bank, in the EAP region, in order to promote the green electricity in the region, and so we have this multi-phase approach we call the MPA to accelerate sustainable energy transition in the EAP region. So the objective is to accelerate renewable energy scale and grid integration in participating countries across the EAP region. So this is the $2.5 billion program approved in 2024 by our board. Currently, 6 countries participated in this MPA, and this MPA includes several projects with the different type of financing modality like IPF. IPF stands for Investment Project Financing, P4R program for RESAT, and the grantee from the MEGA in order to encourage the private sector to make the foreign direct investment in the region. So we expect over 20 million people are expected to benefit from this clean energy, clean electricity, and also it will generate 2.5 gigawatt of clean energy in the region, and also it will reduce the 60 million ton of greenhouse gas in the region. So in addition, the multilateral bank like ADB and World Bank are working together with ASEAN countries to develop the ASEAN power grid. So the ASEAN power grid financing initiative was set up to bring all the partner and also to provide the financing to the ASEAN region. So in the ASEAN power grid financing initiative, ADB and World Bank are working together with the ASEAN Secretariat and ASEAN Center for Energy. And on top of that, in order to provide the project financing as well as the provided all the support, necessary support, not only the government private sector side, but also the private sector partner with the ASEAN Power Grid Finance Initiative. That is called the PACE, Partnership for ASEAN Connectivity on Energy. So that includes the multilateral development, donor, private sector, as well as the commercial bank. And this PACE will provide the technical assistance for institutional development, as well as strategic support is expected to be provided by the ASEAN Center for Energy. And in this initiative, we expect to identify the potential project and mobilize the financing across the project cycle. That's what we are currently working to achieve green horizon in EAB region together with our partners. So therefore, to make the conclusion, a shift to clean power and low carbon industry can strengthen the competitiveness and enhance the energy security, because the green energy is coming from the indigenous resources like wind and solar. So that will really enhance the energy security. Because currently, because of the situation in the Middle East and the Europe, the war is facing the energy security, because most of the energy supply, especially the hydrocarbon, are coming from the Middle East or the America to Asia. So these hydrocarbon are not indigenous resources in the region. So what we have, as we identify, as I briefly mentioned, the region has a huge potential of renewable energy, especially the sun, like solar power, wind, and also the geothermal. And also, we also have the hydro resources in the region as well. So these are the indigenous energy resources. And we believe that the developing of the indigenous green energy will enhance the energy security in the region, and also that will strengthen the competitiveness of the regional economy. That will also bring a lot of jobs for the people in the region. So this is the conclusion of our report and my presentation. And you can access the all these report by scanning this QR code, and as well as the web link provided here in the below. So with that, let me stop my presentation and pass the floor back to Kenya School.